Yo, 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 welcome to Juiced Up the Hard Way. We're your hosts. I'm Jake, Juiced Up Accardo, joined by Bee LIVITY from the podcast 3 The Hard Way. How you doing, Bee LIVITY?
All gravy, baby. Back in Cali, back home.
Back on American soil, man. I'm glad to have you back.
Yeah.
I hope I get to see you sooner than later now that you're back home. But let's jump into the show today. We got a great show for you guys. We're going to recap the national championship college football game, NFL playoff recap. Bee LIVITY had a great weekend with his picks. And then we'll also recap our Super Bowl prediction. Somebody on this show, one of us, might be repicking their teams. We'll see who that is. We'll save that little teaser for you guys for later. And then we're also going to recap the show Landman on Paramount Plus. They recently had the finale. So Bee LIVITY and I will kind of recap the last episodes 8 through 10 and where we think the show is going to go forward in season 3. And then at the end of the show, it's the Juiced Up takes. All right, so we had the national championship game on Monday, Miami versus Indiana. Miami ended up losing to Indiana 27-21. It was a great football game. Actually one of the cleaner, probably college football games I've seen in a long time. Both teams played well. Both teams were executing. Not a lot of turnovers. The play was clean. They both looked rested. They both looked well. And, Indiana landed some haymakers. Miami took them. Miami kept fighting back. Couple key plays here and there were, in my opinion, the difference in the game. I think it was that block punt that Indiana scored on. I believe that changed the score to 24-14. So in my opinion, that kind of reversed a little bit of the momentum Miami was having in the game, and Indiana needed that big play to kind of get the momentum swinging back in their direction. I thought it was a great game. Bee LIVITY, what'd you think of the game? Were you impressed? What'd you see out of Mendoza, him being the number 1 pick coming up? Were you impressed by him, or what'd you think of his game and how he played?
Man, of course. I mean, he didn't put up a lot of yardage, of course, but that's not his thing. He just doesn't make mistakes, and he makes the passes he needs to make. He's a very accurate passer for what they do ask him to do in their offense. I'm not sure what the point spread was. I think we might have been looking at that, but from the final score, I think somebody was shaving.
Yeah, I think it was around 8.5, maybe, possibly. I think it was around that. Yeah,
I think somebody was shaving.
He plays that nice guy. Yeah, he plays that nice guy role.
Back up.
Yeah, exactly.
They kept going up by 10, but I mean, Miami was able to make some big plays in the second half as far as that long run that I can't think of his name, the running back from Miami.
Mitchell. I think his last name is Mitchell. Yeah.
Okay. He ripped off a long one, and Malachi, they shut him down for most of the game until the second half.
Yeah.
He was able to rip a long one too. So I mean, it came down to those big blows.
Yeah.
I was impressed with the Miami defensive line as usual. They got to him, which we haven't seen that happen with Mendoza most of this postseason.
Right.
They haven't had much pressure put on them. And Bain, Metasor, I think that's his name. They both were getting to him and wreaking havoc back there.
Yeah.
The Indiana running game sustained. They were able to pop off some big runs. Not as much as they've done in the previous 2 games, but they were able to keep Miami's defense honest to where they were able to get those key throws in the fourth quarter. Those back shoulder throws that he kept making in the fourth quarter were key.
Yeah.
And keeping those drives alive. Because I really thought for a second there Miami might be able to pull this thing off. And then of course Beck did a Beck. And
he definitely was point shaving on that one. I think he took Indiana to win the game. Hearing on sports radio, kind of, because unless you really you dive into the research of the game and the players and all that stuff, they were kind of talking about the ages of these players that were in this game. Compared to having like 18 and 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds playing. Some of these guys were 23 to 24. I think the average age was around 23 on Indiana. So this kind of piggybacks on our last episode when we were talking about Calipari and how these kids are getting older at the collegiate level for basketball. It's kind of looking like that in football now too, where Signetti didn't have a bunch of 5-star guys, but he had a bunch of seniors, dudes that could stay disciplined, dudes that knew how to be coached and follow good coaching. So I feel like is this something now, like, after we talked about the Calipari interview, and then now hearing the age of these teams being around 23 to 24 was the average age. Do you think this is going to be a new thing now in college? Is you're going to have these older teams because guys don't want to leave, or do you think this is like a one-off, kind of situation that Indiana was lucky to have?
I mean, I would hope this a one-off, but I mean, we've seen it happen the last 2 seasons in college basketball, and it seems like an ongoing thing kind of
Yeah,
since the COVID pandemic thing, to where it just hasn't phased out yet.
yeah,
Um, and with the NCAA granting these players extra years of eligibility, still, we've seen Trinidad Chambers try to go for 6-year eligibility.
yeah.
Carson Beck had a 7th season. This fool was talking about he ain't even had classes. I graduated 2 years
How are you
ago.
eligible? Yeah, how are you even eligible?
Yeah. I mean, essentially, it's the NFL G League right now. It's no
Yeah,
longer the NCAA, and that's the unfortunate thing. I
yeah,
thought that was the beauty of college. Actually having college age players and having that real vibe. And now we got a bunch of ringers like it's an AAU team. You know, it's ridiculous, bro. But I
yeah,
mean, hopefully it phases out. I think the NCAA is going to have to come out with some kind of protocol to where you get 5, 6 years. If you sign you have I guess like a collective bargaining type of thing to where
yeah,
you can't transfer more than twice because these guys you got some players that are transferring every year.
yeah,
I've seen it with one of our players from Alabama, Isaiah Horton. He just transferred. Will be his third school.
yeah,
And I'm just like, they got to put his foot down somewhere because this is
yeah.
getting out of hand.
Yeah. I think Indiana had a guy on their team this year. He left last year. He was there, left last year, and then came back this year. So, but also on the other hand, so I agree with you. It's I like seeing these young kids, 18 and 19-year-olds, and then just how they handle themselves in like pressure moments. But at the same time, if the players are a little bit older, it also puts a better product of game on the field that's kind of better watching. Would you agree or disagree in that aspect that the play's a
I
lot better
mean,
when they're older?
I think it's good because we're seeing parity in the sport now, to where it's not the same dominance, like this Indiana team, they haven't won anything in forever.
Yeah.
So I think it's good for college football. But I mean, as far as the age thing and we're having super duper seniors, like I don't really like
Super
it.
duper senior. I'm a
Uh,
super senior. I guess I call them super
But I
seniors.
mean, it was a good for the game. I think
Yeah,
that's what the committee really wanted as far as a national title. It's not these blowouts we've been getting in recent years,
yeah,
and we're actually having a close combated game. In the
yeah,
final, which I think was real good. I'm not sure what the viewership numbers were, but
yeah.
I
I
mean,
thought
it
it was a
was
good
an
game.
enjoyable game, and it
Yeah.
came down to the wire.
Right, right. No, I totally agree in that aspect, and it's gonna be like you said. And I feel like the SEC hasn't. This has been the Big Ten. It was Michigan, Ohio State, and now Indiana. So the Big Ten's won in
We
three
got to
years.
put an asterisk on that Michigan. We still got to put an asterisk on
If
that
you ain't
Michigan
cheating, you
one.
ain't winning, man. If you ain't cheating, you ain't winning. All right. So, did you want to cap that off with anything else, B. Liberty, or are we good to move on to our NFL next?
Yeah, we can move on. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens next year. Like I've
Yeah.
been looking at the pre-rankings already. They got Alabama ranked at like 21. I was seeing on a post today. So I mean, we're gonna see Texas is supposed to be the knockout king that season. If they don't live up to it, that's 40
Yeah.
million wasted,
I
bro.
can already picture the hillbillies calling Paul Feinbaum right now about Alabama being ranked in the 20s. I can already picture it. All right. So moving on to NFL, like I was saying earlier, B. Liberty had a great week. The only pick that we had similar was the Seahawks. He had the Broncos and Patriots. They both obviously won. He did end up going with the Bears. They almost pulled another horseshoe out of their ass. But the horseshoe wasn't just big enough this time. They were unable to pull it out, so they ended up losing. I had the Bills and Texans in the Rams, so I went 2-2. B. Liberty was 3-1 for the weekend. Congratulations, sir. Those are some great picks.
Yes, sir.
Your Super Bowl contenders are still in there. So we had the Bills at the Broncos.
Estradamus.
Yeah. Back in his natural habitat, southeast. So we had the Bills at Broncos. That was probably the best game of the weekend. I would think that one was up there. The Bills ended up not being able to pull it out. Broncos were able to get a late touchdown. Bo Nix was able to pull it out. They were able to get the win in overtime, which is a great game. Bo Nix ended up breaking a bone in his ankle, which is going to be interesting now going forward. We'll dive into that after this. And then we also had the Texans at Patriots, very sloppy game. CJ Stroud is looking like CJ Stroud. I guess that ball was looking pretty weak. He had some Jared Goff type moments. That was a pretty brutal game. Rams at Bears, it was a cold one, but Rams were able to pull it out. Caleb Williams, he's showing his potential, a lot of upside. I'm not a big fan of his, but he's showing what he can bring to the table, and so hopefully the Bears can get him going and clean up his game and polish it a little bit better. And then the Seahawks the Niners at the Seahawks. That game opening kickoff was kind of the tone setter. I feel like in that one, the stadium was rocking. They run the opening kickoff back, and after that, it was this knockout 9 count the whole game for the Niners. I feel like they just didn't have enough to come back in that game. So let's dive into your Bills and Broncos game. Your Broncos are in the AFC Championship now, going with Stidham. How do you feel about this game? Is it a possibility? Do you feel like you guys have a better chance to win since you are at home and you do have the elevation to your advantage and the home crowd? Do you feel a little bit more confident as if you're going on the road with Stidham? What's your confident level of 1-10 of Stidham getting you guys to the Super Bowl?
I'm at about a 6.5.
I'm feeling that. I kind of think he can do it. I think he can pull it out.
Yeah,
really
I'm at a 6.5 to 7 level.
Okay.
The big thing I'm thinking about with Stidham coming in is there ain't a lot of game film on him.
Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of hard to prepare for him. But another thing, Josh McDaniels was his OC at one time, who actually is a coach for the Patriots. So I don't know how that's going to pan out. But I've been watching the press conferences from Sean Payton. He seems pretty confident.
Yeah.
Stidham's been in that system for the last 3 seasons under Payton.
Okay.
I think he's definitely going to be a reliable backup, and I think they're going to still come out guns a-blazing. They're not going to have to change the playbook much for him just because, Stidham does have an arm still. So.
Yeah. And and with the way Drake May looked against the Chargers and the Texans, he hasn't played 2 good playoff games at all. He had
against good defenses.
Yeah, he could have turned the ball over a few times if they hadn't recovered the fumbles. So I feel like with your guys' defense, I think Dobbins is coming back this week, you get Dobbins going, get the running game going, just make enough passes to when he has to make them. He doesn't need to play hero ball. I think the Broncos have a good shot. I would be on that 6.5 to 7, confident level out of 10 to feel like you guys can win this game. Just because I don't think the Patriots offense has really proven anything, and now they're going on the road. So we'll see how that game goes. What'd you think of the Texans-Patriots game and CJ Stroud's performance? I mean, he didn't look good the week before. I knew this is kind of why you picked the Patriots was because of CJ Stroud. I mean, were you kind of even surprised by how bad he looked? Or, what do they got to do? And I think I texted you, like, do we bring in Davis Mills? Like, do you think they should have brought the backup in during that game? And do the Texans need to find a new quarterback? What do you think they need to do with their quarterback situation?
What is it? 10 turnovers?
Yeah.
Plus, 9 or 10 turnovers
Yeah,
in 2 games?
Yeah.
They definitely, and this is all in the first half, you know what I'm saying? They definitely, I agree with you. I didn't say so while we were talking during the game, but I definitely think they should have gave their backup a look.
Yeah.
No continuity in that offense whatsoever. And I knew they were going to struggle because they didn't have Nico Collins out there. So that was another reason why I felt that it was going to go that way. But, as far as his turnovers, that's just bad decision-making. A lot of people are suspecting that he never fully recovered from that Week 9 concussion against the Broncos as well. Like that might
He's still dizzy.
Yeah. So, that's a weird one, bro.
Yeah. That was a bad.
But they definitely should have made the look.
Yeah.
They need to have an open competition coming in the next season because Stroud is kind of, he's regressed.
Yeah.
He's definitely regressed.
That's what I was going to bring up. From his rookie year till now, you kind of expect that sophomore slump to where you kind of even out. But your third year, you should be going upward, and especially with that defense.
But he does have 3 playoff wins too, which I'm like, okay, there's kind of some positives there. But when he's bad, he's down bad,
Yeah, and the way I like to look at quarterbacks nowadays, it's like, okay, if you took him out of this offense and you put him like with the Bills, like how much is he going to make them? Is he going to be better or is he going to be worse? And he probably wouldn't be any. He probably would be worse than he is now. So I feel like he's got a great defense. They have some decent offensive players. They have Christian Kirk. They had I think it's Hutchinson. Schultz ended up getting hurt. Dalton Schultz did, so that kind of hurt their tight end aspects. but I feel like he's definitely not doing enough just to carry the team with that defense. Like they're not asking you to do a lot. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I mean, and they're getting 6 point. They have a scoring defense. So I'm like
yeah,
that's really bad right there. When
yeah,
the defense is putting up points and you're jeopardizing all that.
yeah,
You have a limited window with these teams
right,
now, and you know that's not good.
yeah.
They're gonna have the free agency and all that coming up. So with these limited windows, you got to take advantage when it's there.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a team that's D'Amico Ryan's team. It's not a CJ Stroud type of team, like where you know that the quarterback kind of like the main focal point of the franchise. I feel like they would get rid of Stroud before they got rid of D'Amico Ryan's. Do you agree with that, or what do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, D'Amico,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's surprising to see what's happened with some of these coaches in the off season, but I
Mhm.
mean, as far as this situation with the Texans, you definitely got to stick with the coach here because I mean, he's not the one out there making passes or out there fumbling and throwing picks.
Yeah.
But we've seen it cost McDermott his job in the Bills as well.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean,
that's a big one right there. I mean, let's dive into that game a little bit now that you brought up the Bills and Broncos game. So, in typical Josh Allen fashion, he was able to get him the lead. With some time left, I think it was a little bit over 2 minutes. They got the lead, and then I think it was 27-23, and then that's when Knicks came down for the game, the go-ahead touchdown to Mims. So I mean, Josh Allen didn't play a great game either. He had that knucklehead, that boneheaded fumble at the end of the half, what helped you guys get a field goal because they ended up recovering it on their side of the field. And I don't get why coaches like 10 seconds. Why even run the fucking play? Like, just kneel on the ball,
yeah,
go on the
yeah,
rock. This is
yeah,
why you kneel on the ball, dickhead. Like, this is why you're
yeah.
fired today. Like, so, what's your takeaway from that game again? And were you happy with the victory, or did you see some things you guys can clean up? What do you think of that Bills and Broncos game?
I definitely feel like there's some things we could clean up. I mean, I love our pass rush still. We got to them. We gave up too much on the run to James Cook. I mean, I think we kind of from having like a top three defense this year. I kind of feel like we're turning more to a bend don't break kind of defense. With the amount of turnovers, I felt like we should have been able to capitalize more. So that was a little bit of a disappointment to me. But I mean, Bo Nix didn't make many mistakes in that game. He probably outplayed Superman.
Mhm.
So I can't be mad at it other than the injury, which came on a freak play.
Yeah,
Just positioning the ball for a field goal. That was pretty weird to me. For him to get injured on that. So I mean, there's some things that I was disappointed in.
yeah,
We get Dobbins back this week, and hopefully we could get a little bit of better a running
yeah,
game on our own end because our defense was still out there a long time, and good thing we had the week off, the
yeah,
bye week, and all that.
yeah,
But
for real.
hopefully we clean that up as far as our defense because I think like I said, we're starting to turn into a bend don't break kind of defense, and people have been putting up numbers on us, the past few weeks.
Yeah, I think you guys will tighten it up, and I think the Patriots, they're not a great offense. So I think this is a great game for your guys' D line, especially Benito. He's been a little quiet lately. I think he's getting doubled and chipped a lot now. So I feel like he can get loose in this game with the Patriots tackles getting beat how they did these first couple games. So we got the Pats at Broncos with Stedham at quarterback, and then we got the Rams at Seahawks going for a third meeting now. The last meeting at Seattle was a pretty good game. Seattle ended up coming back in the middle of the fourth quarter. I think that was like when we filmed like our first episode together. It was a Thursday night game, I believe, and Seattle ended up coming back and
Yeah.
winning. And then Seattle also played another game in Los Angeles where Darnold had like 3 or 4 picks. And they still had a chance to win it at the end. So Seattle's been in every game with them. They played 2 close games. Patriots at Broncos. Who do you like in this game?
Of course, I'm gonna go with my squad, man. I gotta keep the faith. Like I said, 6.5 on the 7 out of a 10 scale. I think we have a chance with Steady coming in. Like I said, just fix a couple of things on the defense, and continue to keep that pressure on the quarterback, and disrupt Drake May.
All
I
right.
think we'll be good.
You hit him with the 6-7. My kid, I want to play that shit for my kid. You hit him with the 6.5, 7 without even knowing it. All right. So Bills are obviously my other team that I wanted to. I had the Bills and Rams, so that's scratched now. So in this game, I'm gonna ride with the Broncos too. It could be out of pure hate for New England, but I think Stedham can do it in that altitude. It's just one game to get him to the Super Bowl. I feel like I think they can pull it off. I think Sean Payton will pull out a good game plan, and I think they'll be able to match whatever Vrabel and McDaniels have to throw at them. Rams at Seahawks. Who do you like in this game?
So Seattle lost the running back.
Charbonnet, yes, that's correct.
Yeah, and that's kind of like a two-headed monster running attack. So I mean, I'm kind of a little concerned there. Um, I told you I haven't been sold on the Rams all season for some reason.
You haven't,
Um,
yes.
like it's just something about him I can't trust. But at the same time, you got Darnold that can do his goofy thing and in the biggest moments. So I mean, this is really a tougher one than I hoped to be, but. I'm gonna stick with my prediction where I had Seahawks going to the Super Bowl. Even with this injury to the running back,
All right.
I still feel like they could pull it out. Jackson and Jigba, he's a one man band out
He's
there.
good.
But that Seattle defense, man, like they get after it. They get after it.
And the 12 man's going to be jumping there. I'll stick with the 12 man's going to be jumping for sure. I'm going to stick with my pick of the Rams just because I rode with them from the start of the year before preseason. So I'm going to go Rams Broncos in my Super Bowl. I haven't been too good on these picks, so hopefully these two work out. But yeah, I think I'm looking forward to these games. I think these are going to be really good games, and then we'll talk about these next week. All right, that ends our NFL section of the show. Now we're going to jump into Landman. We covered this show halfway through the second season here. We did like a mid-season kind of recap, and then we just had the finale this past Sunday. Just a quick recap of the show. Main character is Billy Bob Thornton. He's what they call a landman. It's about oil fields in Texas, West Texas, I believe, like Fort Worth area. Odessa is another area they call it. And it's just kind of about the everyday life that this gentleman goes through. The first season was more about kind of what happens they call it the pitch, where the drilling is taking place. So the first season was a lot about the drilling aspect of things and kind of how it works out in the field. And then the second season, they focus more kind of on the business aspect of it and the things that kind of entail in the background, like by all the suits, just kind of having to pick things and how to navigate certain situations. So that's kind of what this second season entailed. Like I said, we got Billy Bob Thornton as the main character. He's Tommy. We have his son Cooper that's on this show as well. We have Rebecca, who's the attorney. Then we have Ainsley, who's the daughter of Billy Bob, and then his wife is Angela, who's I love her character. She might be my favorite character on the show, but we can get into that in a little bit here. And then we got Billy Bob's dad, T.L. Norris, that's played by Sam Elliott, who did a great job on this season, and I can't wait to see him back in season 3. And then we have Andy Garcia as Galeno. He's our money financier. I loved his part in the show too. I thought he did a great job as well. And then, so those are kind of our main characters of the show. This last part, season 8, or episode 8, 9, and 10, it was basically focused around them drilling in the ocean now because of this insurance money that, Demi Moore's character, Cammie, that she, when she inherited the business after her husband passing away, they ended up finding about this big insurance claim of $400 million. Now they got the drill into the ocean. She decided to go in and drill this into the ocean when Billy Bob and other people were advising her, this is a bad idea, don't do it, it's a long shot, yada, yada, yada. So ends up Billy Bob gets fired from her company. Season finale, Billy Bob and his son end up going back to Andy Garcia's character, getting his son's old contracts back for the oil wells that that for the leases of these wells that he was going to dig into. They found a great pocket. So season 10 finale, Billy Bob he's fired from season 9. Season 10, they end up starting their own company, and that's how it's going to roll into season 3. Is the Norris boys, Tommy Lee's character, Billy Bob's character, Cooper, and Sam Elliott's character all working together, father, son, grandson, grandfather. So I thought the season was a great season. It definitely showed a lot of different insight into the corporate life of what comes into oil rigging, just kind of what comes into the oil industry. Like I was saying before, Angela, she's the mom. She's my favorite character. Her and the daughter, they work so well together. They're like two twins type of thing. Just always like they're two road dogs. Like the mom and daughter are always like rolling together, hanging out. Billy Bob has great one-liners in the show. And so, Cooper's character is developing more. He beat the shit out of that dude in episode 9. God damn, he beat the shit out of that guy. So what did you think of, season 2, being kind of new to the show still, also like I am? What'd you think of season 2? And maybe who are some of your favorite characters on the show, or who do you like on the show a lot?
I definitely enjoyed the season. At the last time we talked about it, I thought it jumped around a little bit too much for me. It didn't conclude in some things. I felt the same way kind of with the ending as far as the actual closure of selling off with Demi Moore's business.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish they would have kind of had that highlighted a little bit more, how it closed out. Other than just everybody resigning from her company. They didn't even talk about with the lawyer how she left the company. Like,
Yeah.
all of that was kind of
Yeah.
open ended to me. But Billy Bob Strong Garment deals out there with the police and with Andy Garcia. Like he did his thing, and he's back on solid ground. I hated to see how Demi Moore fired him.
Yeah.
Because like he's, I was telling you before, he saw something in her husband that she didn't even know.
Yeah.
And like she's stepping into a world that she doesn't even know about. Actually, one of my favorite characters is the treasurer.
Yeah. Nate, the attorney, the bald guy.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's a good
he
one.
let her know,
Yeah.
there's a reason why those papers weren't digitized.
Yeah.
Weren't digital. Why everything was on paper.
Yep.
And Demi, she kept digging and digging and didn't understand it, but he let her know what it was.
Yep.
And he gave her the best advice.
Yep.
But he's actually one of my favorite characters. Of course, the lead of the crew. I can't the chubby guy.
Dale.
I can't think of his name.
Yeah, Dale.
Yeah, Kel is pretty funny too.
Dale.
I like him.
Yeah.
Of course, Billy Bob with his one-liners.
Yeah.
When
he gets in the accident, when he goes like before he gets in the accident, he's like, just take a big fucking shit on my head, God. And then he gets in there's an accident on the freeway, and that car next to him gets fucking plowed. He's like he's just like, oh, okay,
Yeah, that whole episode was funny with him going there, him battling with God. Like that was hilarious to me. Yeah, it's perfect timing. Perfect time. I'm wondering if it's ad-libbed or written.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels like a lot of it just ad-libbed.
Yeah. And then like the whole the dad now with the physical therapist. Like I was like, what's this all about? Like, is this some weird like daddy issue thing? Like he's over here cuddling with young Dang. Like what is going down right now? But I like that. I know like so. I think in season 3, they're definitely gonna have to clean up the loose ends of like how he brought them all into his company. Like he basically just called them all over, like, "Hey, we're gonna start a company. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. You're gonna do this." And then it's like, and then we're gonna be like singing "Kumbaya." And it's like, okay, cool. But I like that core that we're talking about, like Dale, Nate. I like how they kept that core of characters together because those are like primarily the main characters of the show. And it's gonna be interesting to see how they play off of what MTech does with the offshore drilling. Like if they're still gonna kind of keep that storyline in the background, or if they're just going to 86 it all together and then just focus on these guys starting a company. So, I thought the last 3 episodes were definitely like some good like enders. Like it capped off the show really well. And now it's going to be interesting to see all 3 of these dudes working together, like Cooper, the grandfather, and the dad, and then having the mom in the picture. So I think that's going to be really great. And I think it was kind of interesting how they put the daughter with someone in her dorm. Like it was like total opposite of her. And just kind of like showing how, you can be friends with someone that's not like you, that is totally different than you. There is common interest out there in everybody. And so I thought that was a great scene also, just her going to college and having to deal with that person. And then just kind of how it turned into them becoming friends. And then now her enjoying her college experience, hopefully. But I'm looking forward to season 3. I can't wait. We'll see what happens with adding any new characters. Did you like Andy Garcia's character? I liked his character a lot. I like him as an actor, like the way he presents himself.
At first I didn't. I kind of felt like it was too cartelish at the beginning.
Yeah.
But, you're starting to see his business acumen and all that now.
Yeah.
Even in the industry he doesn't know about, he was trying to strong arm his way into it before, but now he has somebody that's actually, showing him the ropes. So I like the way it's going right now, but there's still some. There's still a little bit of tension between him and Billy Bob. So,
the fact how they kind of came full circle also to where Billy Bob's coming back to him to get the original deal, basically from like episode 2 of the season. He's coming back to get that same deal that his son made, and it's like he ends up needing this guy, and this guy needs him, so they kind of need each other in a way, even though they don't really like each other. So I think that was kind of interesting how they came back full circle and now they're going to be working together essentially. So that's going to be interesting too.
Yeah, and I mean I guess the relationship between the wives, Andy Garcia's wife and Billy Bob's wife, that's interesting to see how like it seems like they're kind of using each other at the same time, but they, yeah.
But yeah, Andy Garcia's he's winning in life with that character. But yeah, that was Landman. So check that out. It's on Paramount Plus. Season 2 just got over with. They'll be running season 3 probably around the same time. This same time this year. In the winter time. So that was that, and then. All right, so that was our show, Landman. And next up at the end of the show, it's the Juiced Up Takes. All right, so we got one Juiced Up Take for you today. It's NBA with NFL kind of winding down. Only a few games here left. We're going to get into a little more NBA talk. So we're going to have to do a little more watching, a little more studying. They're about 50 games in right now. So a couple weeks ago, Rich Paul, he's the agent of LeBron James. I think he might own Clutch Sports, or he's one of the creators of
Clutch Sports. Yeah.
So he's an agent with LeBron James. He recently started a podcast of Max Kellerman, who used to work on ESPN, a boxing analyst, was also on First Take, yada, yada, yada. So Rich Paul made a comment that the Lakers should trade Austin Reeves for Jaren Jackson from the Memphis Grizzlies. And obviously, whenever you hear something come out of LeBron's camp, everyone's going to automatically think that's someone speaking for LeBron. And then, so what happened was, after that comment was said, Austin Reeves' agent caught Rich Paul at a Lakers game and pulled up on him, boy, and said, "What's good, my guy?" And then now there's a lot of players like asking, why does Rich Paul even have a podcast? He's an agent. Is this even, can he even be doing this according to NBA like standards or bylaws? So I just feel like, man, I've been sick of LeBron since COVID. Like that is the only championship he has with the Lakers is the COVID title. Put an asterisk on that one. COVID title. Yeah. And so, I appreciate what you've done for the game, LeBron. You played 23 years, yada, yada, yada. You're still trying to catch Jordan after 23 years. So I'm just over LeBron. I'm over anyone associated with LeBron. I was sick to my stomach when the Lakers drafted Bronny James. Like, there was probably a player that you could actually play at that pick that you could have picked. And so at this point, just please retire. Please walk away from the game. Do your farewell tour. And, and Rich Paul, like, I don't even know, man. Like, can he even hoop? Can he even hoop? Was he on his high school team or something?
Did he play high school?
Yeah, was he on the high school?
I'm not sure if he played with him in high school.
He was carrying LeBron's bags. That's what he was doing. So, so I know we haven't really got to watch a lot of basketball, but what do you think of these comments, Be Livity? And what's your take on LeBron James and people he's surrounded with?
So, I mean, as far as Rich Paul in this podcast with Max Kellerman, that's a huge conflict of interest for him to be even putting that kind of stuff out there, especially with his biggest client being on that team. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, that's a no-no.
Yeah.
I've heard multiple players like Matt Barnes, Austin, what's his name?
Austin Rivers.
Like they've all spoken out against this, and it's like, you need to shut up.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
I'm upset with Max Kellerman. I used to be a huge fan of his until recently.
Yeah.
He's becoming a huge company man, and it's not just with this podcast. He's doing it with boxing now too. Like he's a company man, and I guess whatever happened with him at ESPN.
Yeah,
it got him on the straight and narrow to where he's sucking dick.
He's trying to be the white Stephen A. He's trying to be on anything and everything.
He's fondling the ball. He's fondling the balls of everybody right now.
He's out there glazing everybody.
Yeah, but I definitely agree with you. It's time for LeBron to go, man. Like it's too many diva ways about him.
Yeah.
He complains about every coach. He actually handpicked JJ Redick to come in, and you see how his interaction is with him on the sideline and sitting away from the team and huddles.
I think they had a podcast together, didn't they?
Yeah, complete diva behavior. Now you handpicked him to be your coach and you disrespect him.
Yeah,
like come on now, man. Like he's a complete diva.
Yeah,
and, that's one thing. Like with the comparison with him and Jordan, I know Jordan wouldn't play for another. Didn't want to play for another coach but Phil Jackson, but they earned that right.
Yeah.
He hasn't had LeBron hasn't had a three-peat. He hasn't had a real championship since the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
I definitely dispute that bubble ring. That shit was crap.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to be there.
He didn't even want to be there.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, it's just too many diva things. Even with the All-Star game and all that. People are talking about should he be a star. I told you about this earlier.
Yeah, he got snubbed.
Complaining about he wasn't a starter. Like, come on now. This is the same guy that didn't even want to participate last year and waited to the last minute.
Right.
And then let somebody, be an alternate. This dude is a complete diva.
Yeah.
No dunk contest, no kind of skills competitions in the All-Star weekend. I'm sick of this dude.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah.
I am.
And this is and then when you do the GOAT talk or whatever, I like to go up by generational, but at the same time, you can really ask yourself, would Michael Jordan have a podcast during his NBA season? I don't think so. I don't think Michael Jordan
would never self-proclaim himself the GOAT. That's the difference between when LeBron crowned himself that shit.
That too.
That too. Jordan says, is by era, like you say. It's up to the people to decide.
Yeah.
And, that's one of the things I respect about Jordan more. I just can't respect what LeBron's doing now. God forbid that he has a farewell season where we had to deal with this shit next season for 82 games and people kissing his ass the way they already do.
He'll suit up for all those games. That's for sure. Oh, you're going to do a farewell? Yeah. You're going to do a bye-bye for me? Oh, I'll suit up for this game.
Doesn't play defense anymore.
Nope.
Plays Olay. Nothing but Olay.
Yeah, and cherry picking. Yeah, he's over there cherry picking a lot too.
Yeah. I'm down with him.
Yeah.
I'm down with him.
At a certain point, you're cheating the game. You're not really helping it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, and then we'll get into the All-Star game too in another episode because they did switch the format up for that. So I want to hear your take on that. Now it's USA versus the world. I think that might not be a good thing because I feel like the world is going to go a lot harder than the USA players are. So we'll see how.
Yeah, I've seen the starting rosters already, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. So we'll get into that. Yeah, and then they'll have their trade deadline coming up on February 5th. The Warriors just lost Jimmy Butler. So we'll see what they do with Kuminga. He doesn't even want to play for Steve Kerr anymore. So there's a lot of NBA stuff we'll be able to get caught up on. We'll definitely be getting NBA cracking here in the near future. But that was our episode for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the program. Hit like, hit subscribe. Please comment. B Livity, you got any farewell words for us for tonight, man? What's going on with you?
Nah, man, just deuces, man. Proud to be back in Cali for a little bit. With some good Mexican food, carne asada fries, and
Start saving those cans.
Yeah.
Have you got any good Cali smoke yet, or are you holding off?
I'm holding off for now, man. Holding off.
All right.
I'll get to it eventually.
Because you'll be slumped on the couch if you hit something out there right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a different grade than Colombia. I mean, every time I come back, it's super couch lock.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, you guys have a good night. Have a good night. Be Liberty. Deuces.